Well, I had this dream, and it's been several years now, but it stuck with me so much that I actually wrote about it. It was kind of like a Stephen King kind of thing, but it must have made an impression, so I'm going to tell you about it. Like I say, this was several years ago, and it started out with the weather was very cloudy with a threat of rain, and it was humid but very cold, and it was morning. So I'm in a new house I don't recognize, but somehow I know it is mine, and I notice that there's something wrong with the floor. It's warped in places and it's missing boards. The house itself seems to be off center. Well, of course it is. It is a dream after all. I am standing in the hallway, and I'm approached by a small boy that I don't recognize. He is 3 or 4 years old, and he tells me that he's ready for school. And then it dawns on me that I haven't seen his mother, which I am guessing may be my wife. So, of course, I'm going to take this little one off to daycare or preschool or whatever. So we get in my car, which, by the way, is my very first car, a 1959 Chevy Impala with 283 engine and a Holley 4-barrel carburetor. It was awful on gas mileage. It's hard to keep gas in it, even at 20 cents a gallon. I look at the gauge, and of course it's near empty. So I drive to a convenience store / gas station. Of course, this isn't just any convenience store. It isn't off an interstate or major thoroughfare, but a dark, unpaved country road. There is a light mist and fog everywhere. Well, I walk in to pay and get a breakfast snack, leaving the kid in the car. The place is very crowded. There are 2 clerks working the counter. One is an older guy, late 50s I would say, and a younger kid with red hair. The younger kid appears to be going off his shift because he is counting money, and there are several people in front of me. I then grab a couple of honey buns, and I finally get to the counter when I then realize I'm not sure what pump I'm on. I step away to glance outside, but it's too misty and foggy to see. I then decided not to get gas. Go figure. I get to the counter. The older clerk is a grumpy old shit, like a grumpy old guy who sends back soup in a deli. He says something I can't make out. The more I ask the guy to repeat what he just says, the more irate he becomes. I can't for the life of me understand what I've done wrong, if anything. I look about and notice that the place is now completely empty except for the 2 of us. The clerk rings me up, but I see that I haven't been charged for the correct items. There's a stack of magazines next to my items, and that is what the clerk has rung up. I point to the magazine and I point out to the clerk that he has charged me for those items and not mine. The clerk then becomes abusive and threatening, says that he will call the police. I insist that I will call his manager. Well, the clerk backs off, he leaves the store in a huff, and then just disappears. I'm alone now, and left standing in the store. It is now very dim, and fluorescent lights are blinking. It has gotten darker, and is very misty inside the store and out. I go back out, and I realize, as I look around, that I don't know where the hell I am. I get in the car. The kid seems to have disappeared. Oh well, it's a dream. I do not know if I should go left or right when getting back on the road. There's no people anywhere, no cars or trucks. I have been driving for some time. I take a left, and then one lone truck comes up behind me very quickly and tailgates, then passes and slows. I decide to follow the truck and maybe find out where I am or talk to the driver so that he may know where I can find a phone. Well, the truck takes a left, and I follow the truck to another deserted road with potholes. It has lots of vegetation. Lots of treetops with Spanish moss cover the road like a tunnel. The truck and driver, well, they have disappeared. I'm now in front of what was once a motel, an old motel. Maybe 40s era or even 20s or 30s. White clapboard with peeling paint. The place appears deserted. I walk around the back to take a look, and my brother has just appeared with me. We look around, we see nothing, then we turn and go back to the front, and we run into a man in revolutionary dress. He just appears. He is pontificating on a subject that doesn't make any sense. We just walk away from him and go to the front of the motel. A lady dressed in a house coat from the 30s or 40s suddenly appears and asks us if we have seen a man that has fought during the Texas independence period. We look at each other and think, yeah, close enough, and we say yes. She seems relieved because she needs to ask some historical questions for her son, and then she just walks away. I look down the drive and realize that there are now more vehicles parked behind me. I think that I really need to get out. I'm late for work and my wife must be wondering where I am. I have no signal on my phone, and my brother says, "Don't worry, help is on the way." Well, a short time later, help arrives. My nephew-in-law suddenly arrives with his wife. He explains how he doesn't know how he got there, and I say, "Welcome to the club." Then my brother up and accuses him in front of everyone that he's been buying gifts for women. Some women, particularly a red expensive coat. I am perplexed and outraged. I then see that my car is unstuck and appears to be working. It is now a 1953 Chevy Bel Air with only one headlight working. It was hard to see, and now I'm alone again. I drive back to the main road, such as it is. I then take a right. I come upon a garage that has hillbilly mechanics. Then I overhear them talking about me and how they cannot let me leave because I know too much. I run, I get in the car because I do not wish to squeal like a pig, and I go in the other direction. You'd think that would be it, but no. I then have a flat, and I run out of gas at the same time. I then start walking. I walked about a mile, and I came across a farmer and his son. The son is that same red-headed kid from the store. He is now wearing overalls like his dad and has lots of freckles. His dad tells me that I should not be around there, that their neighbors are dangerous. They offer me a ride to the nearest town. I thank them, and the son tells me to hop in the truck. The truck is a 1953 GMC, the very truck I learned to drive in. The kid likes to talk, and he is very animated. He's beside himself. He's talking about this great movie he liked called Ishtar with Dustin Hoffman. He's talking so much and so animatedly that he runs a stop sign and we crash into a dry goods store. That's when I woke up, feeling like shit, nose burning from sinus and allergies. I had to pee, and for some reason, Tex Ritter came rushing to my mind.